As an immortal meme once said, "Ooh, you need some milk." This is the great milk taste test for the College Game Day Podcast 2024. Sometimes we talk playoff, sometimes we talk teams going on probation, sometimes we talk notice of allegations, but there is also a serious side to our podcast. Can you identify whole milk and why milk coming from things not a cow or possibly a goat should be outlawed? Pete and I are going to taste the milk. I'm told the object of the drill is not just to say which milk we prefer, but also to identify which milk is which. Particularly, can we identify whole milk?
Do you need the milks that are available here, Rece?
The milks, we don't know what order, because then that would sort of defeat the purpose now, wouldn't it? But there's 1%, there's 2%, there's whole milk, there's half and half, which goes well in coffee and also makes very nice homemade ice cream. There's things that people claim are milk but aren't milk. Oat and almond water, but they say milk. So we're going to work from the inside out.
I've never looked at milk, by the way, side to side like this. It's kind of fascinating visually, by the way.
The funniest thing happens on podcasts and with social media and with conversation among friends and coworkers. I somehow have become this advocate for milk. I like milk, and I do believe what I say about whole milk, but I'm not quite as militant as I portray here.
What do you say at Starbucks when you get a coffee with milk?
I've stopped doing it, but a couple of years ago when Jim Harbaugh was talking about eating steaks and drinking whole milk, and that's how he grew, I would go into Starbucks, particularly if I were in an area of the country where they weren't Michigan fans or not college football fans, and I said I would like coffee and the kind of milk that Jim Harbaugh drinks. And they're like, wait, what's that? I was like, well, whole milk, of course. And
so
they're quite confused because a number of times the baristas at Starbucks, believe it or not, and other coffee shops who also would be sponsors of this show if they wanted to, but Starbucks is not. So I'm sorry I mentioned them. But the baristas there, sometimes they're not avid college football fans. They don't watch the weekly coaches' news conferences. They don't know what they're missing. So they aren't aware of Jim's affinity for whole milk.
But you know what? They're still making their lattes with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
That's right.
So
double sleeve, no cup.
That's
okay.
Good.
You want to start?
I do want to start.
Okay, I'll start here too.
Okay.
Ready?
We're going to go at the same time?
Yeah, I guess.
Who's going to go first?
We go at the same time. Ah! Oh, that's some kind of vile seed milk. I'm going to say, is that oat milk? Oh, I like oatmeal. I do not like oat milk.
So I drink oat milk every day in my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and this tastes like oat milk.
Why? Why would you
I
do
mean,
such? I'm going to cleanse the palate.
I live in Boston. There's a Dunkin' Donuts on the way home from Teddy Thamel's daycare. You hit it on the app, you drop them off, and you get a little kick, and you call some, assistant receiver coaches. It's just the way to go.
But I go to Dunkin' Donuts too, and they have whole milk.
I'm aware.
Oh,
I'm aware. I mean, my 2-year-old drinks whole milk. That's what it's designed for.
Teddy, you keep it up. Teddy, if you're listening to this, Teddy, I want you to obey your parents. Listen to them. They will guide you, and they will lead you to a productive, healthy, safe, and happy life.
Without oat milk.
But nobody's perfect. And stick with the whole milk. Everything else, listen to Pete. Stick with your whole milk. Okay, let's go next.
That was good.
Okay. All right. And it, Pete. Ugh. Here, that's nasty. Yuck.
I'm gonna look at the candidates again. I have suspicions here.
This one's a little tougher. It's not as nasty.
Yes. So, is it my guess or your guess?
No, you go ahead and guess.
So I'm gonna guess it's somewhere between 1% and 2%. I haven't drank either 1% or 2%, so I don't really know, since I was 15. So I don't really know which one's lighter or maybe a little heartier. I'm gonna say that is 1% milk.
I'm going to say, okay, I would have missed that. I was going to say it was 2%.
2%?
I was going to say it's 2% milk.
All right.
You probably drink 1% because you think you're fat, but you're not. You could drink whole milk if you wanted to.
I am getting a little fat. It's the end of the summer. I need to get a little.
Who got
little
the Napoleon
little more
Dynamite
Disney.
reference?
I did get that.
Okay,
actually.
good.
I did
Good.
get that. Uncle Rico approves.
Okay. All right, cleanse
So
the palate.
Teddy Thamel won't make state if he drinks oat milk.
Wait,
Is that
what
what
was
you're
that
saying?
one? That was 1% because I guessed 2, so I missed that one. Okay. Candidate number 3.
The tannins in the 1% were delightful.
Piquant aftertaste, whatever they call it.
Hint of oak.
Oh, Lord. Bleh. Almond. Yuck.
That was definitely almond.
Oh,
That was
is disgusting.
That was definitely almond milk.
I like almonds.
We don't have almond milk around the house. My wife's allergic to nuts, so that's actually why I drink oat and not almond. Is because I don't want ever our coffees to get mixed up, and then we have to take a trip to the Brigham. So that was almond milk. That was not no ambiguity there.
Wait. Another. This is the almond, right? Probably.
I hope
yeah.
so.
Oh yeah. It was. Okay. Wait. A spinoff, another pop culture spinoff reference. Vile seed. Remember when Newman ate the broccoli? He said vile weed. Okay. Sorry. Anyway.
I just feel bad who's ever using the studio after us.
I've got problems.
We don't come back to Bristol very often. It's probably just as well.
Oh, man. You know what? I am exaggerating, being hyperbolic for impact here, but that's gross. That's some gross stuff.
I will say this: as gross as that was, the pulled pork that producer Taylor made today was
fabulous,
unbelievable,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean, as fine as you will get in any restaurant.
I
anywhere.
agree.
Amazing.
We may do more in-person podcasts just to get more
doubt.
pulled pork.
Okay, what's this one going to be? Well, that's going to need to be 2% because of the 1%, I think. I think it's 2%. I don't think it's quite thick enough to be whole. Or half and half, I don't think. No, I would say 2%.
It tastes a little sugary.
Does it?
Yeah, so I think it's half. I've never drank half and half other than in something.
It's half and half?
Yeah.
Is it? I didn't think it was quite thick enough, but that's fine.
It's my sophisticated palate from Ware, Massachusetts.
I'm very, I'm not really much of a wine drinker or any of that kind of thing. But when I do, people talk about the notes of various fruits and stuff like that. I'm very,
notes of arrogance.
Yeah. I'm very. This wine is good. This wine is bad. It's kind of.
I would say usually the expensive wines are better. I feel like they've got it figured out.
I wonder how much of that is mental though. If you buy a $9 bottle of wine, and you think, well, this can only be so good, and you buy a $200 bottle of wine, you want it to be, you're rooting for it.
Sure, I think you're rooting for it, but I also think there's a difference. If it's in a
probably.
box or if it's like,
yeah.
I can't tell you. I can taste the difference between
Farms
the
or
$19 and the
probably not
$24
it.
bottle. I can't. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, that's from this region of where the grapes are.
Yeah.
But no, but $9.90. Yeah,
Martini and Rossi on the rocks is going to be a little bit different from something good. Okay, this was. So what do we? I don't remember what we have left. We'll just see.
Yeah,
we've got 2% whole milk left.
It still tastes like sugar from the half and half.
I'm going to have to. Yeah, I'm going to say that's 2%.
I feel like that's whole.
You think it's whole?
I think I drink enough. Yeah, I'll taste the last one. That's fair. I should be able to taste the difference here. I drink a little whole because it's sitting around the house.
Oh yeah, no. This is 2%. And that's whole because this is much creamier, right?
Yeah.
Did I get it right? No, that's whole. How's the 2%?
Wait, the whole was before the 2%? 2%
and then whole is last.
Oh, okay.
Well, they both are tasty. Whole's better for you.
All right, Coach Harbaugh.
It is. It's just good. Have you ever eaten raw egg?
I've never eaten a raw egg, Rece Davis. Would you recommend it?
It's not the greatest thing, but they're not bad for you.
Yeah, I don't think cooking them radically decreases.
It depends on the volume.
That's
If
fair.
you need 6, sometimes you can't take the volume if you cook them, so you just need to schlonk them.
I definitely don't ever need 6 eggs.
Well, you might someday. You might decide you're going to get jocked, as a
Yeah.
friend of ours would say.
Maybe.
Maybe so.
Probably not.
Well, there you go. So the point of the exercise was this. Kids, if you want to grow up to be big and strong, if you want your brain to be as smart as it can possibly be, do not pretend that milk comes from some type of grain or a seed. We found that 1%, 2%, and half, all fairly tasty. Whole milk is my preference, but I think we found that the 1%, 2% might be acceptable, and half is a nice substitute if you want to just add it to your coffee. We're happy to be of service.